Hi guys, this is Leo from Germantech. Today I'd like to talk to you about our restoration program for all the air-cooled cars. I'm standing in front of a 930 Turbo from 1984. This car has just recently been purchased and its new owner has decided to give it back its original color. He values the authenticity of the car, so our job will be to restore this car back to its original color, which will be light bronze metallic with a black color interior. The car is currently in dark blue metallic, and the interior was like a tan beige color standard leather. These cars have achieved over the last couple of years an incredible value, but that value is only realistic if the car is being returned back to authentic condition. Changing the material and color of the interior, or even doing other modification, basically decreases the value of a car like that. Hence, we are being approached to rebuild these cars back to factory specification. We have started to remove the engine, and we have removed the entire interior so far. A little glance at the inside actually pretty much says it all. The paint job that's done by a previous owner has covered the outside only, but has not covered the inside. Now the heart of that 930 Turbo would be this 3.3 liter turbocharged engine. We have started to take off parts of the intake and the alternator so far, and we will guide you in a little video through the entire rebuild process of the engine, while in the same time, parallel to that, the body will be undergoing its paint works. So guys, this is going to be the engine that we are going to take apart today. We have already taken off the intake and are left now with the oil leaking core of the 1984 930 Turbo engine. So components have been taken off, and down here you guys can see the oils are leaking down, and some previous repairer has tried to fit up some metal sheets in order to guide the leaking engine oil around the exhaust system. Now, of course, this is not the right way of doing that. So we will try to do one better. We will take it apart and see what we come across inside the engine. So guys, we have dismantled the engine, we have cleaned up the crank housing, we have measured the crankshaft and balanced the crankshaft. So now will be the time to seal up the crank housing, put it back together. However, before we do that, I would like to check this little injection valve. The injection valves are cage-tronic injection valves, so there is no electric control. The K stands for the German word kontinuierlich, which is a continuous injection system, which started in the late 70s. It's been carried on throughout the 80s. Injection systems today do not have this kind of setup anymore. Now, I would like to show you a simple way how to check this injection valve. Basically what you want to know is first whether it's clogged. formation of the little fuel particles are developing in front of the injection valve properly. The best way of doing that is taking an air intake cleaner, brake cleaner, any fuel system cleaner that comes in a aerosol can. Today what we are using here is from Wirth. Wirth is a German company that is known for their very reliable products. We are using the Wirth air intake and throttle valve cleaner, and I'll show you how we checking this in a very short way without having any expensive machines. So this is a SAID injector. First of all, you want to see whether there are any visible clogs. So basically you can see that the fuel is supposed to inject from the front jet of the injector. Inside basically there is a little spring, and once the force of the spring is overcome by the fuel pressure, the injector will inject. Now, for us, in order to find out whether this injector is still injecting properly, basically to test it, rather than simply go ahead and replacing it, we are using this can of air intake and throttle valve cleaner, and we just put it with the nozzle in the back of the injector. And now the moment you press the button, you press the can, you will actually see the injection of the... They're going like this through all the injectors. Here we have injector number 2. Beautiful. Number 3. So here we have a blocked injector, as you can see. As I press, nothing comes through it, so we'll put this aside. So number 4. Perfectly functioning, very beautiful formation of droplets. So we go to number 5. Also here, a beautiful working injector. And the last one, number 6. Alright, so I go back to the one that was clogged up. We will try to... there, it just opens up as I'm pressing again. Perfectly fine, so these injectors are pretty much all usable. So guys, here we are. We have prepared the crank housing for our 930 turbo. The studs have been replaced, as you can see over here. We have the new studs in here. And the bearings will be replaced as well. It is now very important that when the oil pump goes in, that this new seals are sitting properly, so we will use a little bit of liquid gasket. In our case, we are using Loctite 574. That would be the one. It's recommendable for Porsche air-cooled engines, and we will use a little bit of that just to keep those gaskets in place. Crankcase assembled, we are now measuring the cylinder sleeves and applying new piston rings to the pistons. So the pistons are going to insert it into the cylinder sleeves first, and then the cylinder sleeve, together with the piston inserted, goes onto the assembled crank housing. Watch how we do it. So the piston number 6 is inside the special tool. The piston rings are compressed now, and we are giving it a slight notch in order to get the piston sticking out from the bottom of the tool. Alright, so place it on top of the cylinder sleeve. And it is now very important that the tool has been pressed onto the sealing surface of the cylinder head in order to avoid the piston rings to snap out when the transition happens from the tool into the cylinder sleeve. So it should be done with one strong knock. And there you go. Let's have a look. Alright, cylinder number 6 is now equipped with a piston. And we knock it down a little bit, so we are able to attach the piston eye into the connecting rod. Good? Right. Alright, so we have prepared the cylinder heads, we have cleaned them up, we have replaced the valve stem seals, and at this point of time Selvin is grinding in the valves. There is a grinding paste, and that ensures that the seat is sealing 100%, and we have, once we are done, absolutely no leak. So while he's doing the exhaust valve, I'd like to show you guys how it looks when it's done. Now here in this case, that is the cylinder head that has been already finalized, and it's been filled with petrol to check whether the petrol is leaking through the valve seats. Now in this case it is not, so the cylinder head will be ready for installation soon. Okay, spinning the engine around. Alright, so the engine has been assembled, the cylinders are in, and we are now spinning it around by hand to see if everything moves the way it was designed to do. So guys, the cylinder heads have been rebuilt. The engine block is ready to receive them. The cylinder heads itself, the valves have been grinded in, have been cleaned up, and we will now fix them back onto the block. Assembled the engine back pretty much. The crank housing is in place, the camshaft housing is put back on, so is the camshaft drive. We have adjusted the valve clearances. We will now start doing the fine-tuning of the camshafts. So the rebuild for every Porsche engine requires the camshaft to be fine-tuned after they have been removed and installed. Unlike other vehicles who have just simple markings, the camshafts can only be installed into an approximate position and will have to be fine-tuned later on using a measurement gauge, and we will be measuring, or we will be adjusting the camshaft according to how much our valve starts opening before top dead center. For this particular engine, the intake valve of cylinder number 1 has to open 3 degrees before top dead center is reached. So that translates into 0.70 millimeter. As you can see, our crankshaft is now exactly on the marking of top dead center. The little cut in the pulley is supposed to line up with the seam of the crankshaft housing, which is right around about here. So there you go. So we are now in a working stroke top dead center, which means bank 1 has been zeroed as well. So our valve is now closed. I will now spin the crankshaft 1 revolution into the overlapping of cylinder number 1 to check when I return back to the top dead center, whether our valve will have an opening of 0.7. Now, 0.6 to 0.8 would actually be an acceptable value. However, in Germantech we prefer not to make use of the tolerances, we prefer to stay on the ideal number, which is 0.7. And I'm just going ahead and spinning it one revolution on the crankshaft. That gets us to the overlapping of cylinder number 1. So, as you can see, the valve starts to open. I will move the camera towards the valve. There you go. So we have 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and 4, 5, 6 and 7. So I move over to our marking of the crankshaft. And as you can see, our marking is pretty much hitting exactly the seam of the engine, which is here. It aligns the marking 100%. So this camshaft is actually good to go. We will now move to the second camshaft of bank 2 and repeat the work. Having an opening on exactly 0.7 millimeter of the intake valve of tank 2, and that opening occurred exactly on TDC, top dead center. So this is now a perfect adjusted cam, and so we move on closing up the cam process. So guys, our engine is getting together. Now we have a little problem with the turbocharger. Well, we had a problem from the beginning onwards. Something must have gone into the turbocharger previously, and must have spoiled the compression wheel of the turbocharger. Now, however, not a big deal. We have just received our new turbocharger today. There we go. Turbochargers on the table. Now the only problem is the new turbocharger comes with with a different connector in top. Now this piece here, let me show it to you guys, can be removed. It's like a piece of plastic. Yeah, so there you go. And what we like to do, we like to replace this plastic with an aluminium duct that is a little bit more rigid and much more lasting. Now, this is the aluminium duct, yeah, nice and shiny. Now the only problem is the aluminium duct will not fit onto these turbochargers because of that little hump here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to cut off the humps with a saw, and then we will glue in with a special bond this duct into this onto this turbocharger, so that we can operate it with our engine. So, we have successfully cut the turbocharger, we have measured the length, and we have bonded on a new adapter. that replaces the old plastic adapter over here. Hey guys, we are here in the paint shop, and the car has been completely dismantled, ready for repairs and de-rusting, which is right happening behind me in the background. After that we will start applying the base coat and getting the original light bronze color sprayed back onto the car. I'm here in the spray booth. The body of the car has been repaired. We have leveled out all the dents. We have then started coating the car with a foundation, with a base coat. The car is now going to be sanded again with a very fine grade of sandpaper and a lot of water. And after that it is ready to receive the color coat. In the first step, all the parts of the car that are visible, all the exterior parts of the car that are visible are basically treated first. So our 1984 turbo has been assembled, and we are gonna give it now the first start and see how it performs. Selvin, crank it up! Here I'm back with our 1984 930 turbo. We have received it back from the paint shop. We have started the assembly. The engine already went inside the car, is already completed. The interior is not quite ready yet, but it's well on its way. I will burn a little bit of midnight oil and we'll finish the front end of the car today. guys, here we are on our test run of the 1984 930 Turbo. So guys, our project, the 930 Turbo from 1984, has been finally completed, and I just came back from a test drive. The car is running very well, very smooth. Well, a little bit wild, like a 930 Turbo is supposed to be. So I hope the owner will enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the journey.